Hi guys, welcome to a new series, North Node in Leo. I'm wearing my golden blouse today because Leo is gold, Leo is the sun, Leo is shiny. So Leo is, here to be noticed. So before we dive into North Node in Leo, let's talk about your South Node in Aquarius. And here's how I understand South Node in Aquarius. There's two manifestations to it. That's how I see it. One, overall, I would say Aquarian South Node, you guys are my humanitarians. You guys have had lifetimes where you were very deeply involved with the society you were in, with humanity. You're always looking how to make life good for everybody. I mean, everybody. You're very inclusive. You're very, very friendly. You're always, you never, I don't want to say judged anybody, but you were very inclusive and you always had ideas, big ideas. The beauty of Aquarius is that you have these eccentric ideas about how to maybe invent with something. You guys are my inventors. You guys are the ones that came up with things that made our lives easier. So you're very intertwined with the idea of humanity, with the idea of Earth, with the idea of, groups. Wherever you were, wherever there was a lot of people, you were always like, okay, what can we do so that everybody benefits? The key was that everybody, not somebody, not one, but all of us, everybody. That's the idea with Aquarius. So you guys are, like I said, you have a deep caring for humans. You have a deep love for them. But the downfall of that is that because you have so many lifetimes that you invested in humans and you basically lost yourself in order to contribute to humans, wherever you were, you always kind of put yourself on the back burner and said, okay, forget about me, forget about my desires. Let me see, how can we all benefit? What can I do to make the group better? Because the group is counting on me, So part of you could be that because you were so intertwined, part of you now maybe hates humans. You really do. You're probably getting very triggered by what's going on now. Like you're very triggered about Mother Earth, about the oceans, about the politics, about everything where there's division and there's abuse and then there's all that craziness. You get really triggered by that to the point where it makes you hate humans. The very people that you love, at the same time you hate them because you don't understand why can't they see what needs to be done so we can all be happy on this earth, so we don't destroy ourselves or whatever. So that's how you see it. When I said there's two manifestations with Aquarius South Node, one is that because you were so enmeshed with humanity and groups and all that, the negative part about that could be a dystopian society. I love dystopian societies. They're scary, but they're beautiful the way they're structured, because the structure in there and this group thing of like what's good for the group, individualism is frowned upon. If you don't know what a dystopian society is, there's many movies about it. One of them, the series Handmaid's Tale, that's an example of a dystopian society. Fahrenheit 451. There's many other ones, but basically it's a society where the group thing and the benefit of it outweigh individualism, to where nobody shines, nobody is out there. And if you are out there, you more than likely get punished because you are threatening the existence of the group. They make you think that if we don't do this, this, and this, and this, we're going to collapse. We're going to destroy ourselves. So anytime somebody tries to get out of bounds, they either get killed, get punished, or destroyed, whatever. And then they make an example out of them to the rest of the society to reinforce it. So you with Aquarius South Nodes, it's in you, that dystopian society idea that, hey, there's rules. There's some rules that humans need to follow. And you probably are very set in how things need to be, how humans need to be. You're very set in what's right, what's wrong, what's moral, what's immoral. Aquarius, in a dystopian society, there wasn't a lot of feeling. There isn't a lot of emotions. It's all kind of subdued, suppressed, and shut down, because emotional outbursts will lead to the destruction of our society. And if we want to exist here, we need to maintain that, even idea. So you get the point. So you, with dystopian societies, you carry that in you as an Aquarius South Node of like the group is always outweighing individual. The Soviet Union is a great example, where individuality is not encouraged. It's seen as a threat. The United States is more individualistic. So that's one manifestation, one negative idea of Aquarius South Node. So to this day, you could be very critical. You could be very critical about how things need to be, what needs to be done, because you're always thinking about the group. In your mind, there's that belief, limiting belief that, the group, how can, humans, wherever you are, you always kind of see everything as a group, as a structure, as a society, and you're like, this would be a threat to it. You're too loud. You are asking for too much attention. You need to tone it down. We all need to be even keel. Another manifestation of Aquarius South Node could be that you did not get lost in groups. You were actually kicked out of groups because you did not buy into the idea of it. So you kind of isolated yourself. Back in the day, I would say my astrologers, whoever was, because Aquarius is intuitive in a sense. They get those brilliant ideas of that, information highway. They're so tuned to it. So maybe the ideas that you had were very threatening, once again, to the group. So you, instead of suppressing that within you and staying with the group, you said, fuck you guys, I'm out. And you kind of became that loner. So inside of you, there is that feeling of a loner, of like, I don't fit in here. And part of you guys, because, back in the day, they used to burn all the esoteric people, they used to burn the witches, they used to burn the forest people, whoever was putting information out there that was not, with the status quo, they were destroyed. Once again, they were, because the status quo had to be maintained. So you have those memories of being looked down on, of being kicked out of the tribe for being you, for being, unique, for believing what you believe. But you were brave enough to say, I believe this and I'm going to follow this. But it led you to a life of loneliness. It led you to a life of disconnection. It led you to a life of saying, you petty fucking humans, you don't understand, you don't see it. You're sitting there, all you're thinking about is food and sex and consumption, but you don't understand the bigger picture. So you kind of isolated yourself. You kind of put that barrier between you and other humans, and you spend a lot of time alone. So you have that in you, that strength of like separating yourself from all the craziness. But at the same time, there's a loneliness in you. There's a loneliness that's like, gosh, I kind of would love to be, over there and interacting with those people. I would love to be more simple. I would love to just kind of take part in games and fun and stuff. But you were kicked away from the group, burned at the stakes, and you almost inside of you, there's a fear of like expressing yourself in a sense, of going against the grain again. Well, now with North Node in Leo, you guys are here to kind of forget about the group in all its manifestations, to forget about freaking humans, to forget about Mother Earth. Don't worry about Mother Earth. Don't worry about the whales. Everything is going according to plan. You are here to focus on yourself. You're here to be totally individualistic. And with North Node in Leo, you're here to shine. You're here to be beautiful and bright and just expressive and playful and loud. You can be the loudest one in the room. You cannot be shy. You cannot be behind the curtains looking at the stage and saying, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could dance my heart out. Because inside of you, there is a huge desire to express. There's a huge desire to show the world how beautiful you are. Not to teach the world of what they need to do to make this a better place. Forget about that. Because the more you do that, the more you're going to hate humans and the angrier you're going to get. So if you want to really change this world, you freaking light up your world with your North Node in Leo. You shine bright. And then people will see you and you will impact them that way. Not the other way of trying to teach them what's wrong and what's right and how we should do this and stuff. No, you're going to get more frustrated and you're going to hate them. So get away from that. Focus on you. Be selfish. And then you'll see how things change. Okay? Now let's go deeper in each house and see what we're working with. North Node in Leo in the 12th house. So let's first talk about your South Node in Aquarius in the 6th. Anytime you have a South Node in the 6th house, that means that you were very much intertwined with the everyday ideas of being a human, with your body, with your health, everything that makes us human, the things that we do every day. So you have a huge connection to that, And with Aquarius there, you probably have a very ingenious mind when it comes to coming up with solutions to everyday issues. Something in the house broke down, boom. You're like, hey, let's put this tape here, and it works. You have a very cool, creative genius mind when it comes to life hacks, when it comes to at work, the same thing. How to make it efficient, how can we make this job not boring? You probably you're not used to having a 9 to 5 kind of job. That would kill you. You are somebody who used to have their what do they say, and many irons, have their irons and many fires. You're somebody who can do this and then you can do this. Once again, that idea of genius, somebody who was very efficient, and it came up with crazy algorithms on how to execute this and how to do this and how to make sure we send the man to the moon and how to precisely calculate where we need to place the next cell phone tower, things like that. A very technological mind, a very genius mind, inventive mind, with everyday things, with things at work. So you're probably very good at doing this job and then this job. You could not stay in one place. For you, it was very key to not be bored at work. Like, you probably would get really bored. You had a very busy mind. With Aquarius in the 6, you're a very busy mind as far as your everyday life. You're probably always on the go. You're here, then at 2 o'clock you have a meeting there, and you guys are discussing how to build this spaceship, and then you're a person of many talents, very inventive talents. Once again, probably a lot of inventions that you guys came up with that make our everyday life easy. When it came to your body, I would say the same thing. You probably, with Aquarius there, you had unique ways of healing yourself. You probably didn't really do doctors much. You were kind of on your own. You approached everything in a very logical way. You probably figured out the processes of your body. You figured out almost like a robot. I could call you a robot because you were very good at doing menial tasks and you never got bored with it, and you always came up with unique ways on how to do something. How they say there's 10 ways or many ways to skin a cat. That's you. You're very just always exploring, always finding the next idea, like next fitness idea, maybe next somebody who came up with revolutionary ideas with foods, different diets, how to optimize your body, how to live longer, how to find the fountain of youth, the elixir of youth, things like that. Aquarius, expansive thinking when it comes to health, everyday activities, all of that. So I would say, because you had such a busy mind, and because you're always so busy and running around, and you're so robotic in a sense, because I would say as you would wake up, your day was mapped out. You're probably very good friends with AI, artificial intelligence, and you probably love the idea of that because you probably, had lifetimes where you were incarnated in species that dealt with that, that were very technocratic. So you were very comfortable with that. AI does not scare you. So all you know of yourself in this lifetime is just constant efficiency, busy. You wake up, your day is already mapped out, Siri's telling you about all your appointments. You're always busy finding the next big invention that's going to make my life easier, your life easier, and then everybody's life easier. So you spend a lot of time in the mundane, in the human, in the body, a lot of time in your mind. So with North Node in Leo in the 12th, you're here to kind of get away from that. You're here to get away from the busy bee, the robotic thinking, the robotic approach that, that assembly line idea that if we do this over and over and over, we're going to get this result. And then let's modify this. So your world revolves around numbers, around facts, around, algorithms. That's all you know. You have a very busy mind like that. And I guarantee you, if there's a little glitch in your perfect little day, you probably panic, you probably go crazy, and you probably lose your mind because you are not used to that. You don't like glitches. And you actually take great pleasure in figuring out the glitch. So now with North Node in the Leo in the 12th, you're kind of here to get away from all of that busy mind, from the logical and stuff, and really dive in to the subconscious. You are really here to go away from the logical, and it's going to be hard for you because your mind is wired like that. Literally, you are wired, and your brain's probably like a motherboard, the mother computer, mothership. You can build a spaceship. So in the 12th, in the house, with Leo in the 12th, you're really being pulled away from all of that, because I guarantee you get exhausted. Your body probably gets exhausted. Your body probably goes, buddy, I can't, I'm tired, I just want to relax, So in the 12th house, you have the opportunity to escape into your own world. You're here to find a whole different kind of world than the technocratic, algorithmic world that you're used to. You're here to jump in and get lost, if not, in this in the world, the creative world that's inside of you, that you don't even freaking know. You're probably watching this video, you're like, what is she talking about? I have no idea. Exactly, you have no idea, because that thing is so subconscious, it's buried so deep that you're gonna have to really try to find it. You're here to kind of chill, in a sense. You're here to quiet your mind and focus on something else. Once again, connect to your heart, connect to your imagination. 12th house is a deep house, and with Leo there, you're here to approach it in a very brave way, in a creative way, in a playful way. You're here to get to know another world that you have within you. The technocratic world, the world of AI, the world of robots. You're here to find the world of the arts, of everything that's not logical. I don't know. Poetry, songs, I don't know, guys, but it's I know I mentioned Narnia in one of my videos, something like that. Like, find a freaking closet door somewhere and explore a whole different world, the world of fairy tales, the world of miracles, the world of superheroes, something like that. Like the world of where one superhero saves the world and he saves humanity, because Leo is that comic book character of that superhero, that Iron Man, or who else is like that? The Bumblebee or whatever. Oh, that's nice, because Bumblebee comes from a technocratic society, but he's good. He's got a heart, he's cool and he's playful. He likes to play. He's not that serious machine. He's yellow. It is a perfect example. Bumblebee from the Transformers. Somebody like that. I mean, you are being called to find that super comic hero that you are within you, because Leo has that in him. He wants to save the world. Leo wants to be everybody to look at him, to shine bright. So in the 12th house, you're literally allowed to get lost in that world of tales, the world that doesn't exist, but it does exist. It's just not visible. You're here to maybe bring these characters that are in your head, some kind of Marvel characters that don't even exist, to bring them and put them on paper. But you're gonna have to dive deep to get to know that part of you. There is a secret world out there that's yours, and you are shining bright in it. And it's not logical, it's just beautiful, it's unexplainable, and you are like a kid in it. And you get to be that little kid. And if you approach it as a little kid that's going on an adventure in his own psyche, to see to find what superhero he wants to be. I mean, things like that, guys, to kind of, and see what he wants to do and what kind of superpower does he have. And then maybe you can draw that superpower, that hero, and you can give him a name, and then you can bring that to life, and maybe you can create, bring that through like a movie script, because Leo is creative, and Leo is that child. You're here to connect to that kid inside of you and take that kid on a freaking ride and let that kid explore. And that kid is going to tell you what you need to do. And you will be so happy, because the other world that you're used to, you're going to be very tired. Eventually, you're going to be tired. Mind's going to give out. So you're here to like take that kid on a journey and go there and explore it and have a fun ride. And then bring that all to us and share it in some way. I don't know, maybe encourage others to dig deep, because you're going to attract people that are logical like you, and you're going to say, buddy, have you considered this and this and this? And then you can inspire them to go on an adventure, and then maybe you guys can make a movie together, and then you can show it all to us, and we can say, wow, things like that. Things like Avatar, you know, that came from somebody's imagination. That world exists. Cameron channeled that world. You know, just because I don't see it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It exists. And Cameron went there. James Cameron went there and brought that to us. So the same thing goes for you. When you go on that journey, you're going to find so much cool stuff. And then, you know, maybe you can watch like Japanese anime or something where there's a lot of like characters and there's a lot of emotion and there's a lot of like feelings, and they're all like, you know, want to save the world and humanity. And that's going to blend beautifully your Aquarius humanitarian ideas with your Leo, I want to shine and be bright. I want people to see me and I want people to say, wow, because of you, we're alive. Things like that. I know you want to experience that. I know you do, because you're done with the other one. All right? And this concludes our North Node in Leo series. Thank you. That's it. I'll be back.